I never believed in ghost schools or things that go bump in the night. That was until I moved into the old Victorian house at the edge of town. It stood tall and imposing, with its creaky floorboards and whispering winds that seemed to carry the secrets of the past. Little did I know, those shadows lurking in the corners had a story of their own. The day I moved in, I sensed a strange energy, an unease that lingered in the air like a thick fog. The locals had whispered about the house, warning me of its dark history, but I dismissed their tales as mere superstitions. That night, as I settled into my new home, the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls, dancing like malevolent spirits. Sleep didn't come easy that night. I tossed and turned, haunted by a feeling that I was not alone. As the clock struck midnight, strange sounds echoed through the empty halls. Footsteps that weren't mine, whispers that sent shivers down my spine. I told myself it was just my imagination, that my mind was playing tricks on me. But then, I saw them, the haunting shadows. Shadows that seemed to have a life of their own, creeping along the walls as if searching for something. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it was a trick of the dim light, but they persisted, growing darker and more ominous with each passing moment. My heart raced as I tried to rationalize the inexplicable. Days turned into sleepless nights, and the shadows became more than just shapes in the dark. They took form, twisted figures with hollow eyes that stared into my soul. I couldn't escape their gaze, even when I closed my eyes. Their presence lingered in the recesses of my mind. One evening, as I wandered through the house, I stumbled upon an old, dusty photo album. The pages were yellowed with age, but the faces in the photographs were unmistakable. The previous occupants of the house, a family torn apart by tragedy. A sinking feeling gripped my chest as I realized the shadows were their restless spirits, trapped in a realm between the living and the dead. Determined to unravel the mystery, I delved into the history of the house. The more I discovered, the more the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. A dark secret unfolded, a tale of betrayal, revenge, and a curse that bound the spirits to the very walls of the house. The shadows were the echoes of a past that refused to be forgotten. As the nights wore on, the shadows grew bolder, their whispers turning into anguished cries. It was as if they were pleading for release, begging me to uncover the truth and set them free. The weight of their sorrow pressed upon me, and I knew I had to confront the malevolent force that held them captive. Little did I realize that the journey to uncover the truth would lead me to the heart of the darkness that lurked within the house. The shadows, once mere specters, took on a sinister form, manifesting as phantoms that twisted and contorted in the flickering candlelight. The air became heavy with their despair, and the temperature plummeted as if the very essence of the house recoiled from the revelation I sought. In the chilling silence of the night, I stood at the threshold of the unknown, ready to face the malevolence that had gripped the house for centuries. The haunting shadows gathered, their spectral figures merging into a swirling vortex of darkness. As I stepped forward, determined to break the curse that bound them, I could feel the weight of the past lifting, and the anguished cries faded into whispers of gratitude. Little did I know, the true horror awaited me in the depths of the shadows, and the darkest chapter of the haunting tale had only just begun. The vortex of shadows engulfed me, pulling me into a realm beyond the mortal understanding. I found myself in a place that defied the laws of time and space. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and the ground beneath my feet felt unnaturally solid yet ephemeral. The haunting shadows surrounded me, their ghostly forms pulsating with an ethereal glow. A voice echoed through the void, a mournful lament that resonated within the depths of my soul. It was the voice of the spirit that bore the weight of the curse, a mother who had lost everything. As her tale unfolded, the shadows morphed into vivid scenes from the past. Long ago, this Victorian house was a haven for the Hamilton family, a place filled with love and laughter, until jealousy and greed tore their world apart. Sarah Hamilton, a woman of grace and kindness, found herself at the center of a tragic love triangle. Her husband, Robert, had been ensnared by the deceitful charms of his best friend, Samuel. As the shadows cast their spectral light on the unfolding drama, I witnessed the betrayal that festered within the heart of the Hamilton home. Samuel, consumed by envy, orchestrated a sinister plan to claim both the house and Sarah for himself. The night of treachery unfolded like a macabre dance, with shadows dancing across the walls in cruel mockery. Sarah, unknowingly caught in the web of deceit, became the unwitting pawn in Samuel's malevolent game. The shadows whispered the tragic events that transpired that fateful night. As I watched, helpless and immersed in their spectral storytelling, the air became suffused with the scent of betrayal, the taste of anguish lingering on my tongue. In the throes of despair, Sarah discovered the truth, a truth that shattered her heart and condemned her to an eternity of suffering. Samuel, driven by a darkness that defied comprehension, invoked a curse that bound the Hamilton family to the house. Their souls became the very shadows that now haunted the corridors, their torment etched into the walls like a macabre tapestry. Determined to break the curse, I felt a surge of empathy for Sarah and her kin. The shadows guided me through the depths of their despair, revealing hidden passages and long-forgotten chambers within the house. Each step brought me closer to the heart of the malevolence that clung to the Hamilton legacy. As I traversed the shadowed halls, whispers of regret and sorrow filled the air. The spirits yearned for redemption, their ethereal forms pulsating with a desperate plea for release. I could feel their pain, aching in my bones as if I carried the burden of centuries on my shoulders. The climax awaited in the heart of the house, a hidden chamber concealed behind a crumbling wall. As I unveiled the secrets that lay within, the shadows intensified, swirling around me in a frenzied dance. The air grew dense with the lingering emotions of the past, and I braced myself for the revelation that would unravel the curse. In the dim light of the hidden chamber, I discovered a weathered diary belonging to Sarah. Its pages, filled with the ink of her sorrow, narrated the tragedy that unfolded on that cursed night. The shadows, now taking the form of ethereal apparitions, guided me through the final moments of the Hamilton family's existence. Sarah's heart-wrenching words described the betrayal, the anguish, and the fateful ritual that bound their souls to the house. It became clear that only by confronting the malevolent force that had orchestrated their demise could I hope to break the curse and offer the spirits the peace they so desperately sought. With newfound determination, I delved into the forbidden knowledge contained within the diary. The ritual, a dark invocation of supernatural forces, required a sacrifice, a soul offered willingly to appease the vengeful spirits. The shadows, once ominous and foreboding, now became allies in my quest for redemption. As the clock struck midnight, I stood in the center of the hidden chamber, surrounded by the swirling shadows. The air became charged with an otherworldly energy as I recited the incantation, the words resonating with the pain of the past. The shadows intensified, merging into a singular entity that loomed over me like a specter of doom. In that moment of reckoning, the oppressive darkness gave way to an ethereal light. The malevolent force that had gripped the Hamilton family for centuries recoiled, its power waning with each uttered word. The spirits, once tormented, began to ascend, their spectral forms dissipating into the abyss of the unknown. The haunting shadows that had cast their pall over the Victorian house now retreated, leaving behind a newfound stillness. The air, once heavy with despair, lightened as if a long-held breath had been released. The house, once a vessel of suffering, stood silent and transformed. As the first light of dawn broke through the windows, I emerged from the hidden chamber, weary yet triumphant. The curse had been broken, and the spirits of the Hamilton family could finally rest in peace. The once haunting shadows now faded into memories, leaving the house with an eerie calmness that belied the tumultuous events of the past. With the first rays of sunlight, I stepped out into the fresh morning air, the weight of the supernatural ordeal lifting from my shoulders. The Victorian house, once a bastion of malevolence, now stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. As I turned to gaze at the now serene dwelling, I couldn't help but wonder if the shadows that had haunted me were truly gone, or if they lingered, watching over the legacy of a family freed from the abyss of despair.